Hey, what's going on, everyone? For all those who may not know who I am Rev J, and my co-host Joy.
Hey guys.
And this is our show. Let's talk about it. And today we are talking about why do successful black men find it hard to find a quality black woman to marry? Um, but before we begin, we want to introduce our special guest, our our now friends that we've been chatting with over the past couple of weeks on different shows. Saveda, what's going on?
How y'all doing? Good to see you guys on this Friday night.
Good to see you
Same here,
too.
same here. Isaac, what's going on? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How things going?
Going well, doing well, doing well.
It's great,
Uh,
great.
all right, guys. So we have a very, I think, very exciting topic. Joy, do you want to start off? Because Joy's the one that really came up with this topic is of why do successful black men find it hard to find a quality black woman to marry?
Yes. So that was something I came up with. After talking and doing some research, find out that a lot of successful black men are saying that now they don't have a hard time finding women. These are men who are. This is why I had other men on here as well as Minister Isaac, who are successful black men in their own right. They're not out here spreading their seeds. They don't have a bunch of children, with randos. They're potentially what most women say I look for when I look for a good black man. And it's odd because even though a lot of women say this is what they want, a lot of black men aren't finding the same amount of quality women to say, let me go ahead and marry. Now they may say, okay, yeah, I smash. And a lot of them do. But smashing is totally different than getting a ring, as most of us know. So, Isaac, and Isaac has been married before. He's divorced. And Isaac, how long have you been divorced?
6 years.
6 years. Have you come across a bountiful amount of women that you would marry, that you would say you would marry?
No.
Okay. And why
No.
would you say now? What are some things? All right. First off, what are some qualities that you look for in a wife that you would say
Let's
you
see.
look for in a wife?
I gotta go to my Rolodex here. I actually wrote this down. I did a little homework, and let me turn this off. I'm sorry. So, let me actually go over here and bring up the things that I look for in a woman.
Okay.
Okay. So first and foremost, I actually thought about this hard and long about what is it that I actually look for in a. I'm sorry. Is what I look for in a woman. So, first and foremost, the first thing that I look for is well, let's just start this. Outside of physical appearance, I am the one that says that your physical appearance only gets you the opportunity. That's all it gets is you the opportunity. For me, your conversation gets you to first base. Okay. So looks only get you to the batter's box. Conversation gets you to the first base. And are you able to fulfill me intellectually? If you're unable to fulfill me intellectually, you will never make it past first base. Period. And only because the fact that I am educated, I do have conversations at a higher level. I'm learning, and I guess that some people will say that it's lowering my conversation, but I'm kind of on the fence about that because I'm learning that when I speak at a level in communication, sometimes the average woman cannot meet me there. Okay. So I'm learning how to bring my level of conversation back down. And now, Is that so? Is that dropping my standard? I don't think that it's dropping my standard. It's just coming down and communicating with the person at their level. I once said that I never understood why doctors only talk to, socialize with other doctors. I never understood that until I started my doctoral course, and the mental mind accelerated. And once you go to that level, you don't. It's kind of hard coming back down and actually talking to people at the level that they're not accustomed talking to. Can I do it? Yes. And I will be the first to tell you there are some things that happen in this world. There's some lingo in this world that I do not know. I do not speak Ebonics, and it's hard for me to understand Ebonics. I have to ask people, what does this mean? And I get the jokes. Like, you don't get this? Like, and also because of my professional career, I have to speak at a level because I'm on an executive staff. So I have to speak at that education level. So because I'm always speaking that, then it's hard to come down. Now, I will say this. Most women that see me automatically think that I am married. And when they find out that I'm single, they're like, what, you single? Like, yes. No, well, we thought that you were married. No. So I've gotten that a lot. There is one particular woman that I found very attractive, which meaning that in my career field, I did find someone that I thought someone was very attractive. So when I inquired about her, everybody that already knew her said that she was in a relationship. It's like, okay, cool. About 4 years later, we were at a wedding, and she said, why do you never talk to me? I always made myself available for you. If you notice that every time that you got off work, I will always come to your desk. I will always do this. I will always stop what I was doing to actually talk to. I said, yeah, I noticed that. I said, but I was told that you were in a relationship, and I wasn't finna mess with that. I said, because I've been there, I've done that, and I'm charting a new path. So I don't want to mess up somebody else's relationship. That's the reason I never said nothing. And she said, I gave you every opportunity to actually ask me out, but you never did. I said, because I was told you was in a relationship. And then she said, I wish that you'd have asked me because I'd have told you that I wasn't. But ironically, she was in a relationship, and she got married a few months later after we had that conversation. So yeah. But then I will say that sometimes that I just don't reach out, especially in the professional field. You don't want to someone to think that you are aggressive, or that you're just trying to date within the office or anything of that nature. And then I've had some women that do work in my field, or matter of fact, I had one woman in my current that works in the same agency that I work in. She said that she found me very attractive, but she would not say anything to me outside of work because she doesn't date anybody that's within the organization. And I was like, but we don't work in the same areas. We don't ever see each other. We'd never cross each other's paths. And she was like, no. So
you, for the most part, you go for women who are just as educated as you are.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't, because and this is the portion that some people find funny. I would give anybody a chance. If you can spark my interest, then I would give anyone a chance. And now lately I found out that I can't do that because some people just can't handle when you move a certain way, things that you enjoy doing. And if they're not at that level, some women can't handle it and they don't enjoy it. But I don't look for a woman's financial status. That's not something that I actually look for. I look for a woman that is smart with her finances, that's a good steward over the finances that she has. Okay. Because you can make what I make and be horrible with your stewarding of your finances, and that's a turnoff to me. Yes, I did date someone that I thought was on the up and up, and after 3 years of dating, found out that she wasn't on the up and up, and when ish hit the fan, it hit the fan, and everything came out. But even though it came out, I was invested. I tried to correct the issue, but she did not want that level of correction, in which became a thorn. And I would definitely say there were red flags before we even got to that point. And but quote unquote in I was in love, so avoided the red flags. So I had to blame myself for that, and it led to some financial distress. So, but it is what it is.
Okay. So, Saveda,
Yes, ma'am.
do you think that the that black men have a harder time finding quality black women to actually marry?
Sometimes because at this time in my life, I'm not a six-figure woman. However, when I finish nursing school, I definitely will be. But even not being a six-figure income woman at this time, I don't want an intellectual fool. Meaning this right here. You cannot turn me on by talking about politics all day long.
Right.
You cannot turn me on by talking about your job all the time. You cannot turn me on talking about anything dealing with the news. What other conversations do you have outside of business?
Right.
Do I like an intelligent guy? I definitely do. I was so in love with a guy some years ago. Um, I knew what his mission was, which is what he is today. I met him back in 2007. Today, he is a principal. Today, he has his doctorate degree. So, when I met him many years ago, that's what he was working on. And I remember him telling me that I am never going to let anybody, including a woman, come between my goal of my
Mm.
to become in my career. And I respected that. But the funny thing about that, my father had told me that many years ago as a teenager, don't ever try to come between a man's goal or his money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be chosen. So I already knew that rule. But it is so funny because I was not turned on by his private parts because he had a mandingo, but I'm keeping it 100. What I was turned on about was his intelligence, his
Right.
ambition. If I tell you that was the hardest working man when it came to his education, he let nothing stop him, period. And so to this day, his goal has been met. He is a principal of alternative school. And if I tell you he's been in so many newspapers to the point where he has taken that school and those children, and the graduation rate is higher than just your regular high school or schools in that particular state. So he's excelled extremely. Um, but I love an intelligent man, but I can say this: a man with that's not as intelligent when it comes to the books will probably grab me before a man that knows it all. That
Right.
I mean, it's just oh my God. Do you know how to be romantic? Because I guarantee you, if we're talking about what happened in Washington D.C. all the time, I'm not going to get turned on by that at all. So yeah,
Right. Right.
but he
Josh, what are
definitely
your thoughts?
he definitely has to have a job. He definitely has to
Absolutely.
have he has to be stable, everything you can possibly think of that make the glue come together as one. But yeah, all that talking intelligent all the time and all proper, look, be real. That's the way I say it. Be real, get your hands dirty, you know what I mean?
Josh, what are your
But that's
thoughts?
being real. But you have to understand, for some successful black men, that is being real for them.
Yeah.
Well, then
And I will say this, and I definitely
them.
say it
They
again.
have to go find that type of girl that's interested in what happened over in Japan and all that stuff. I'm not saying I don't discuss that stuff and I don't mind it, but that's not what I want to hear all day long.
Yeah, right, yeah.
How do you turn a woman on? So I asked you a question. I asked Isaac a question, and Rev, you jump in on this too. Outside of your education background, how do you turn a woman on?
Mm.
Every woman is every. Let me say this.
Pick one out of the billions of people on this earth. How do you turn a woman on? No
It
matter who she
it
is.
actually it actually depends, because I try to never regurgitate something that I did in one relationship and I regurgitated with a new one. I always try to do something different. But even something simple, like I always feel that how can I put this? Okay.
Oh, you ain't educated on that.
No. I'm just saying. How can I put this? Because you know me. You already know me. There are certain things I don't like saying because I don't like for a woman to come to me and try to. Because I've had the experience of a woman knew what I liked, and she portrayed to be every single aspect of that. So now I don't ever want to put out what I like in a woman. But okay, so let me say this. Like, I don't mind going and do a picnic. I don't mind going roller skating. I don't mind doing something that creates avenues for us to actually talk. And like sometimes my very first dates, they are going and doing something athletic. It has nothing to do with going in our romancing and dancing. Hey, put on your sweats and let's go to the jump house. Or something like to the jump house, where you go to where the
the trampoline stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that. So something different that it creates an avenue for conversation. No, I am not saying that the conversation that I'm looking for is a political. I'm never looking for a political conversation. No, I don't want that. Can I have it? Yes. And Saveda can tell you that we've talked over the years, and my conversation has a very large range. And sex is not something that I have in my conversations whenever that I am when I'm trying to date someone or when I am dating someone. I do not talk about sex.
Oh Lord, Rev J got his auntie on here. Let me behave.
Oh Lord, yeah. So, and there's a reason that I don't talk about sex. The number one reason that I don't ever discuss sex, because it doesn't have to be discussed, because the woman will always let you know when she wants that to happen. So, and that's something that my dad taught me when I was young. Son, you don't ever have to ask a woman to have sex. She will tell you when she's ready to have sex with you. So because of that, to this day, I've never ever gone out my way and asked a woman to have sex. She has always let me know when she was ready.
I think one of the things that turned women on is, from my experience.
From your experience, Josh.
Get my ears ready.
Communication. Women love women love men that can talk, not only talk but listen, and also women love men that can help them fulfill a vision they have. Men. I'm giving you a secret here. I'm giving you a secret.
Look, my ears are on top of the computer right now.
I'm telling you. So I've learned this. I think men, if you learn to listen, the woman is going to tell you what you can do in order to connect with them. So again, and if you do that, if you follow that, well, again, they'll be more inclined to be in a relationship with you. So I've learned that that's again, and I think the challenge with successful men is that successful men may have a hard time coming down from what they do.
Oh, they can be
where
times.
Where a woman is not concerned about what you do. A woman is say again?
I said we ain't concerned about it all. We want to know is you got a job and you can handle your business and they ain't got to pay for your stuff. But
a woman wants to find someone that they can connect with. And some successful people are so focused on being successful that they fail to learn how to relate. The key word in relationship is this: relate.
Yes.
In order to relate, you got to be able to communicate, and you got to be able to listen to be able to present to a woman what she is asking for. Because women would talk,
Yes. Okay.
and they would tell you how what they like, what they don't like, and if you do it,
So, Josh, watch this. I was telling Savannah and I had a conversation about this young lady that I wanted to date at one time. So watch this. We had a mutual friend, and I asked the mutual friend about her, and he said that, yo, man, she's really good peeps. We were at an event together. Now, we had been speaking on our social media. We ended up at an event together and sat side by side with each other and talked for 4 hours, cracking jokes and everything, and did not realize that we were talking to each other. Guess when we realized that we was talking to each other? When she returned back home and I returned back home, and we was like, God, we was sitting right beside each other and didn't even know it. But we had an awesome conversation. It led to me reaching out to her and saying, yo, that I really think that you're fly. Look, I get to know you better. So I flew from where I was to where she was, planned a whole date day. I had several events planned, and it was in the city that she lived. And it was, well, to me, it was simple stuff. Hey, we went to Top Golf. We had a blast at our Top Golf. Left our Top Golf. We went walking through the mall. I did a little shopping. Then went from there. Then we went and got mani and our pedicures. Then left there. Then we went to the movie theater. And then from the movie theater, we went to eat. And then I took her back home. It was like, hey, I had a blast. Look, it was actually great spending time with you. On our second date, I came back to her city, and she said, I can't afford you. And I said, what you mean that you can't afford me? She said, I can't afford you. She said that you asked me to plan our next outing, but I can't afford you. Like the things that you do are just like, it's just blowing me out the water. And mind you,
I will say this. And TDJ said it best when he said that men nowadays are trying to date women for their goals, and the minute we don't meet that goal that turned that man on, they look down at us.
No, hold on. Hold on.
I'm not done. Give me a second. Meaning this right here. I'm going to nursing school because I want to go to nursing school. I love taking care of people. However, if I was in a relationship and that dude was turned on by my goals that I told him that I was trying to meet, if his focus is on he likes women who has an education or is a go-getter or whatever the case may be, if I stop that goal mid-term and just say, I don't want to be a nurse no more. I just, maybe I want to go be a CNA. What TD Jakes was saying is, because he did not like me for who I am in here, drops me and I'm less than to him because he was more turned on by my goal and the label that I would have had on his arm, meaning, my woman is a nurse.
Hold on, Savannah.
So
you cut me off, ma'am. But you are missing exactly what I'm saying, because I did not say that I dismissed her. She dismissed herself.
This is a whole nother story. I wasn't even talking about
But I wasn't finishing in my statement because you cut me off and then you start talking about that. But what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. Most men don't care what condition that you're in. Most men don't care.
Not successful men. I've noticed that.
Not successful men. I agree. For example, after with me to do all I've done so far in life and doing what I'm doing in life, if I was to get divorced, it'd be, you have to be, if a woman had to be on your game. Because there's no way.
Now, what do you mean by that? She would have to be on her game.
Again, you can't be sit at home, just chilling, relaxing. You got to be living life. You got to be. I'm not saying I don't care what goal you're going after. You have to be going at some type of goal, because because again,
because you are accustomed to goal-oriented women. That's what you are accustomed to.
Well, I'm accustomed to goal-oriented people. I'm around a lot. For example, I'm in a group, a business group. I've been part of a business group for about 15 years. About 100 other business owners who are very successful. So again, I'm around goal oriented people all the time. So again, there's no way I can scale back and say, oh, I just want somebody just to have no ambition, have no drive, don't believe anything. For them,
So
because
what if her ambition is to be a stay-at-home mom to whatever children, and what if that is some women
well, you
actually,
better pick me a very good vision about how good of a stay-at-home mom you're gonna be.
Because look, hey, Josh, but you know that's powerful though.
Look, it is 2022. You can be still at home and still have a business. So don't talk about gonna be a stay-at-home mom and just cook food and taking the kids because the kids go to school at least for 5 hours a day.
So look, and that's another thing. So that when I meet somebody, she can't have any children at home right now. She can't. Because for me,
yeah,
I am an empty nester, and I kept my grandchildren for a week. It's solidified for me that I cannot date a woman that has children in the home. That solidified it for me because I'm at a season in my life that's not a season, but I'm at a time in my life that's something I no longer want. But I have to agree with you. And then also sometimes, and I'm not saying this across the board. It's some women. Some women can't handle the drive of a successful man.
Yes.
You always, that you've heard women say that I want a boss man.
You don't want a boss man, trust me.
But can you handle the boss man schedule? Can you handle it? Can you handle when he say, "Hey, I have to go make this a business deal, and I can't be here"? Can you handle that? And can you handle the fact that he has to go to the golf course and play golf to make sure that this business deal is done? Some women cannot handle that. I'm not saying all, some. And some women do not want to compromise in that area where he is the most successful at, because they want him to always be home. I heard TD Jakes say, I think it was yesterday, that it's not that my wife wants my present, she wants my presence.
Yes.
And she don't have to say nothing to me. I don't have to say nothing to her. I just have to be in her presence.
Saveda?
I'm the some. I'm the some
Oh,
women.
you can't.
Nah.
Really?
It's a whole nother damn
What
job.
if he's providing you with a lifestyle that you don't have
I
any
don't want it.
wants?
I don't want it. Trust me. I do not want it, because now maybe I ain't met the right one, but let me tell you something. For what I have experienced, you got to look a certain way. And when it comes to your weight, they putting you down if you gain 1 pound. No, I look. I'll take me a $50,000 black man any day of the week than a six-figure man. Let me tell you something. Because guess what? I love to cook. I love to bake. I am not one of the little petite females that want to be pretty all day and eat lettuce and tomatoes to keep my appetite. I am a full-figure woman with hips and booty, and I love to get in the kitchen and throw down. So I don't want to be in there cooking up gravy and rice and biscuits, and he up there talking about, you gonna eat that? No.
Well, they do have
it for one. I am 45 years old, and for what I have experienced through life, when it comes to a six-figure man, it's a whole nother job to keep that nigga roll together. And when just because of his preference. So for me, I feel like any man should go exactly go get what they want, their preference.
But
If they want a 5'2" short female with big hips and big butt, small waistline, then come see Saveda. But if your preference is a little bitty petite calorie stick with a bump on the back, then you go get her. Don't come over here to Thick as Licious and then try to get me down looking like a carrot stick.
I think also,
hey,
I think also what I just said earlier about mindset. And getting a good example of why a doctor may only talk to doctors It's a mindset.
But
You
they
know,
don't only marry. They don't marry doctors. A lot of them
They
marry
don't.
probably like their high school
I
sweetheart,
know,
a
but I'm
woman
saying
that
though,
they
I'm saying
met, a waitress.
a doctor has a certain mindset. Med school is grueling,
Yeah.
and if you're a successful doctor, I mean, you're very successful. You have a certain mindset about how you operate. Look at this. I worked at Amazon. Jeff Bezos is successful at providing a service they provide is because of what he does at those facilities and where they ran. I mean, they ran like a tight ship.
A
Um,
sweatshop.
so again, now you can imagine, you can imagine that his mindset is the same way. So anybody that's with him, he's going to be, it's going to somehow rub off even in his own life. And if you don't know how to turn that off,
It's a turn off.
because again,
There you
because
go.
some successful people has been running so long that and some successful people are only focused are single minded. They're single focused. They're laser focused. They don't really for years they haven't thought about anything. They don't focus on anything. They haven't focused on families. So when it comes to relationships, it's hard for them to make that shift to say, okay, this is not a business deal. This is a human being.
Right.
Let me. I need to learn how to. I learn how to watch movies that I don't want to watch. I need to learn how to go places I don't want to go. As a husband, I've learned I go places sometime I don't want to go, and when I don't want to go. But sometimes
Yeah,
I
but
say,
your wife is the one who helped you to understand that. I think with a lot of
no,
successful
I understand
men,
that. I'm not
if
stupid.
they haven't if they haven't really found out who they are, their money become who they
Yeah,
are. So that's
Yes,
why they
you
become
did
so
that.
like, oh well, no, I need you to look like this. I need and I've dated men who had, did very well for themselves in life. Um, but I think for me, when I dated a lot of them when I was in my 20s. And I think because I was like the fun girl, so I gave them. Think I gave them a piece of that youth that they probably felt like they lost along the way.
Yeah, you were their
And I
sugar
think,
baby, huh?
huh?
You were their sugar baby.
Wow.
All day, all this chocolate. I can get all this chocolate. I'm like, they better check your diabetes to make. Go ahead and take your
Watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out. But
Bummer.
Joy, you actually made a valid point. One thing, and Saveda can actually vouch for this. I try I try my best. Stop it. I try my best to never ever show what I have. I try my best not to.
Mhm.
I don't ever want someone to look at me or try to come and talk to me because of the
Yeah.
materialistic things that I
Right.
have and that I've achieved or that I've accomplished to have due to my and I say my journey from nothing to where I am now. So I don't ever want a woman to try to come and talk to me. Matter of fact, if you ever try to come and talk to me based off, and I realize it's because you see something that I have and you're like attracted
Yeah.
to that, it's a turn off to me. It is a direct turn off to me. I don't even want to talk to you. Um, so
Well, you
one
get
thing
you get
that
a
I've
whole
learned,
energy and money.
one thing that
What?
I've learned about Saveda, check this out. I can take Saveda anywhere in this world with me and have a
mm,
blast.
Hmm.
And have a blast. Listen to me. When I say have a blast. And there's nothing expected
look at the water.
from either of us because we just going to have a blast.
Right.
And I often remind her that I enjoy taking her every single place that I go because cut it out. Cut it out. That I really
Right
enjoy
in the
taking her
court.
uh, places that I go because the fact that we have such a great connection with each other. And
Mm,
we talked about this the other day and I was like that we noticed this and we noticed this and and both of us had to agree and say, yeah, that is true. That is so true. I can definitely say this. When my mind is right, I know who I will select for the next woman in my life.
Oh,
Oh.
is that Savannah?
So
This
I
ain't about
know that.
this is about six-figure women
So
again.
so look, watch this. Watch this. I often, well, we often, well, no, matter of fact, we don't joke about it. It's just is factual. Women that have liked me, that knew me far beyond Saveda even came around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when they got to see when Saveda exposed my fun and things that I enjoy doing, all of a sudden these people came out of woodworks. I even had one so boldly say that I want
Mr.
every single thing that
Isaac.
Saveda gets. No, hold on. Like literally said that I want every single thing that Saveda have. And I looked at her and said that you crazy. What she gets is that there was time, effort, there was work put in for her to be here with me at this level. So we've gone through hardships. We've gone through the crying. We've gone through the sweating. We've gone through the cussing each other out. We look like we've gone through the ratchetness. We've gone through the ratchetness. We have been there. So many people have tried to dismantle what the fun that we have together, the relationship that we have together.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crazy to see how people try to dismantle what you are enjoy doing. That's what's crazy. But I can definitely sit here and say that the hardest thing about being a successful black man and dating is literally having that other successful black woman to
Having
understand
a
that.
best friend named Saveda, that's the worst.
Excuse me. I'm speaking of before you, ma'am. I'm speaking of before you. Is that understanding that we can be great together. You don't have to come out here and attempt to outshine me. I don't have to attempt to outshine you. Guess what? If we meet and I meet you and you're already outshining me, so I don't care. You can make more money than me. I don't care. I am not that guy that's insecure to a woman making more money than I do. And I tell you this. This will be my last story about this. I met a young lady that a mutual
Please.
friend of Saveda and I introduced me to. And he spoke highly of this woman. He spoke high, and he even he said, "Hey, she makes more than what you make." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So she was coming to DC because she's from DC.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, "Hey, look, I know that you're coming to DC for a mission. Let's have a quick meet and greet." And we met in the parking lot of Michael's.
Mm.
Do you know that she talked so negative of me to our mutual friend and said, "I can't believe that he met me in a parking lot of Michael's. He didn't even offer me to take me out to eat or nothing like that." And I'm saying, "Did she say that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Tell her don't ever call me again." I said, "First and foremost, I'm being considered because you are traveling. This is just a quick meet and greet. That's all it is.
Right.
I don't expect anything spectacular from a meet and greet. You want to go get wine and dine on a meet and greet?" So for me, that was a turnoff to me.
Now, have you
Oh,
found that
question.
very successful women are more demanding than what the quote unquote average woman? Someone
Yes,
who.
Oh yeah.
yes. Oh my God, I met
Mr.
a
Isaac, may
lawyer.
I speak for a second,
Uh,
Go
please?
okay,
ahead.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a question for both of the guys. Reverend J, you have a successful business. Isaac, you have a good career. Outside of your income and outside of if you guys have your sex game on tight, what do you bring to the table besides penis and money?
Excuse me. What's it again?
What else do you bring to the table outside of your income and your body parts?
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
let
let
I'm
me
gonna
say,
let Jay
let me,
answer first,
let me,
then I'm gonna come behind him.
well, see, I bring leadership. I'm not just the benefit of my wife with me is that we talked about it the other day. I get things done. So if she want to go somewhere, and again, my wife has an open checkbook to our accounts. If she want to go, I will work day and night to make sure that whenever she needs something, we can get it. I make sure we have money here, make sure we have money there, make sure I work. I'm always thinking about what else can I do.
But that's your checkbook. She said outside of your checkbook.
I said outside of your income.
Okay, well then, how about this leadership? Leadership. My goal. What I do. I listen to my wife what she wants, and I work hard to make that happen. The example, this year, beginning of the year, she said she want to go. She want to take our son to Disney World. And I said, I only go because we don't have one child. If we have someone else to go with, because I could see it now. We're in Disney World with just him, and he's gonna be just bored. So again, when she said that, I'll start just talking around, asking. I was on a mission to find somebody that was going to Disney World at the same time we was gonna go, so we can all go together. I would have done that if I had to, but fortunately, my brother was going to Disney World too, so we all linked up our calendars so we can go together. So again, I bring leadership. If my wife wants something, and she knows that I will work hard and think about how to make sure it happens, how to make it happen.
Okay,
Isaac, you muted. Unmute yourself.
I bring vision, stability, leadership, humbleness, balance, emotional support, humor, healing when she is sick. I am her number one cheerleader, and I definitely bring calmness. You have to remain cool.
No piece of paper, Minister.
He got
I am your Boaz. Okay.
So, and
I'm bringing like 2, but I ain't having written down, so you know.
Yeah, and then there is so much more. This is just, it's so much, because I do believe that when you meet the right person, that the intertwinedness of the two of you start developing things that you never knew that was there either.
Yeah.
Or matter of fact, that you never knew was there, but it was already in you. The person just helped to bring out the best in you. I also believe this. This is something that I truly, truly believe, is that when a man is serious towards you, when a man is truly serious towards you, that within 30 days you should have increase in your life. Because when you guys spoke about TD Jakes pouring in, is that when a man pour into you, he's pouring all of himself into, then you take what we're pouring in and you incubate it, and you incubate it, and then you multiply it, because the fact that you give life, you give birth, life comes out of you. So you double and you multiply what we pour into you. What are you guys pouring into us then? Whatever it is, like the full circle of life. And remember, he said that we can only pour in from the knowledge that we have. So we're pouring in from our knowledge, but as you continue to gain knowledge, that you still pour in that knowledge to you. And I will say this: when I was married to my ex and I started my doctoral program, I noticed a shift in my mindset. These were the words I said to her. I'm noticing a shift in my mindset. And I noticed that my maturity level is changing too. I want you to be right here with me, because I don't ever want you to think that when I'm speaking at this level, that you're less than me. So I want you to be right here with me. So if there's anything I say that you don't understand, pull my coattails so that I can make sure that you understand, because I don't ever want you to feel or look inferior to me.
Now, would you date a woman that would be, I don't want to say less.
Let me say something, Joy. I want to say something. Pretty much going to line what you're saying. This is why it's challenging for successful men to find. I don't want to say black women. I'm just say women in general. Is that if you go to anybody successful, if you're not on their level, which when you're successful, the pool is very small. The pools get very short.
True.
If you're not willing to rise up, and again, I'll give you an example. If I go somewhere, if I'm under somebody, I now need to up my game. For example, when I was a minister, I went to another church, and eventually I felt that I had to raise my game up, to make sure that he felt that is he felt that I bring value with me being there. I brought so much value being there. He decided to say, Josh, we want to get you ordained. And I brought some value that look at this. When I was there, I was getting preaching engagements outside the church. I was getting so many engagements outside the church. The next year, at the beginning, he said, "You know what? Let me let you know when I'm leaving, so you can be here, so you don't book no outside engagement because I know you're very you have no problem getting outside engagement." So, like, again, um, it's hard. It's hard for anybody successful to find somebody, because the pool's small, and then they do find somebody. The people they find sometimes will feel um
Inadequate.
again.
Inadequate.
Yes, and look at this. Relationships are like clothes. Sometimes you grow out of them. And if you're with somebody and if they're growing, they reading, they're maturing, you got to up your game. There's a company called Marriage Helpers. And the CEO, she's a woman. And she had a husband who was in the military. He's a captain, he's an officer. And the story was that they got married, they went overseas, and he would go to work every day. He's around other officers, and I didn't know that when you up in that kind of that circle there, it's a whole different world. So when he come home, she hasn't been nowhere. She's taking the kids, just around the house, and the relationship began to shift because she couldn't really relate to him on the level that he's coming from. He's talking to women. He's talking to other women that are very intellectual too. So no, she did. Of course, they went to marriage counseling, but you know what? She said, "No, I'm gonna step up my game." She went and got her master's degree. Now she's a doctorate degree, and now she's actually running an organization. So again, it's hard for successful men to marry women because
It's
the
really
pool is
not,
small.
Rev J. It's really not. It's my thing with whether you making 30, 40, 50,000 a year or 200,000 a year. What I find in men so much, whether they are low income men or high as Bill Gates, the things that they can never give us once if I feel like men with a certain amount of money in their pocket forget the root cause of a relationship.
I
For
agree.
for me, something that I've never had. I've had men who can buy me the finest things in life. I've had men who said I didn't have to work because they make that much money to take care of the entire family. But what I never have received, I have never received great communication,
Mm,
affection, honesty, and openness. Somebody being empath. When I'm down and out, can you have empathy enough to console me when I'm hurting? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Can you love me unconditionally? Can you love me conditionally with what I
yeah.
come with my baggage? I am not afraid to admit that I am a broken woman. Why am I broken? I am broken because I have been let down. I have loved people that didn't need to be loved. And in that cause, it hurt me trying to love people who didn't love themselves. Therefore, not
Hmm.
only are they hurting themselves, they hurted me. So what I ask for in a relationship, I've never received because men tend to, I'm gonna say black men because I've never dated outside of my race. They tend to see that being faithful to me, honest with me, protect me is more higher in a risk than them losing their whole entire income. They'll rather lose
Mm.
their whole entire career than to do the free stuff that women are out here asking for. I guarantee you, anywhere from a six-figure woman to a $40,000 a year woman, if men start giving that type of attention to us, it'll be a whole different ball game. That team
I
But
together.
agree.
watch this though. But then, Sylvester. So watch this. That's your experience. But guess what? I can say the same thing from my experience. Is that those are things too? Because even being married 21 years, I asked my ex-wife before we got a divorce, and I said, "What are the five things I told you that you can do that you can get anything out of me? What are the five things I told you?" She couldn't remember what those five things were,
Mm.
and I was like, So now I see why that we have a huge disconnect now, because you can't even you can remember the basics about me, but I could regurgitate back to her every single thing that she had ever said to me that was near dear to her
Mm.
heart. So how's it that I can regurgitate that back to you, because you mean that much to me, that's something that I never forget. So how can you forget the 5 things that I told you about me? So
Well, as
Well, I think, and I agree that, and that's happens all the time because most women don't think men have feelings, and
well,
don't look at this, look at this,
hold on, Savannah,
look
Savannah, hold on, hold on, hold on, Savannah,
right
hold on,
now.
Savannah,
at
hold
this,
on, Savannah, hold on, Savannah.
women just like men have needs. Each person different, and if you don't fulfill those needs, which again, if you're gonna be with the person, you make the this being married. There's some things I learned to like because my wife likes it.
Well,
Yes.
I can say this. I can say this
That's again.
right
So
here.
so 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 so,
I'm
so
not
likewise,
saying
women. There's some things that you may have to like.
I can say this. I had a friend. I know a friend of mine that had everything that this girl gave him everything that I just actually named that I'm looking for in the guy. And this dude still cheated on her. And like I told him and I told her, he cheated on you emotionally and physically and mentally because you were not the one designed for his heart. He's still searching the one that's
Agree.
designed for his heart. And because hold on, I said, "Oh Jesus, give me a second, please."
I just
So,
raised my hand. That's all I did.
so this is the thing. That is what I'm talking about. So now I'm not a man, so I don't know what y'all going through out there. But from my experience, what I just named and quite a few more things that are free that naturally come with our bodies. Um, that that friend girl of mine was giving that to her dude, and the nigga roll was still creeping on her. So and
He didn't want it.
yeah, he didn't want her exactly.
And again, Jake said this. Jake said
But
this about the poor end. Some men have nothing to give, and
have
and
nothing
the
to
problem
pour
that the woman,
because they're empty.
you cannot give anything to that man that's going to satisfy him.
And nothing, nothing.
He
You
must
can
he he,
cry,
he
you
must
can beg, you can do even more to show how much you care for him. But he is that if you ain't his cup of tea, he ain't finna drink you. He might sip on you until he find him his whole cup of tea that he want. That's got the right ingredients in it. But I know what I call it, Rev J. Look, I hope your Christians ain't watching. But I told a dude one time, I said, I will not be your pussy pillow until you find your pillow that you're comfortable with. And I meant
yeah.
that. I will not be
Okay,
it.
check this out. Do you know that women do the same thing to men?
Oh, I do got to stop doing that tit for tat stuff.
No, I'm not doing tit for tat.
Come on.
It's factual.
Come
It's
on.
factual. Okay, but anyway, let me say this. I had to recalibrate some things in my own life because I was in the mindset. I can't say what the mindset was, but I was in a serious mindset. But when we look for a woman and we really find that woman, sometimes, not all the times, we need to validate that. We need to validate that a woman. What I mean about validating her is that sometimes we have to say, okay, is this the woman that I really want to be with? If this the one that I really want to stop all the nonsense that I've done or all the nonsense I am doing, is this the one that I want to
Mhm.
stop for? Um, and I believe that's something that women misunderstand sometimes because they see it as if we are playing. No, we're not playing. We just want to be sure of this decision that we're about to make. And this is what I said to my son. A matter of fact, my son regurgitated something back to me that he learned when he decided to get married. Dad, this was harder than what I ever thought that it was. I never knew this level of responsibility that I was taking on. He said, I did not conceptualize that at all. He said, I really wish that I had talked to you before I decided to make that decision. And women fail to understand the pressure, the weight that is placed on a man's shoulder when it comes to taking that responsibility. And I am not saying that we are shucking, shaking, or trying to run away from the responsibility. It is a weight that a woman truly will never understand because you were
And
not meant
What weight
to
are you
understand
talking
that.
about? What weight are you talking about? Losing all the females that
No,
you.
I'm not.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
Lord
Just
have
so
mercy.
I know that, like with my mom stayed at home. My dad was out, and my dad, in his own right, was a very successful man. My father was making six figures when a lot of people weren't making six figures. And one thing my mom taught me, and my mother cleaned the house, she cooked, she did what she needed to do. But one thing she taught me was, because of the amount of pressure that men, successful men, now if they just out here, chasing behind chicks, that ain't no stress on life. But if you're a man
You better
and a
say it.
successful man, and you're taking care of your home, there's a lot of stress that comes on you. And a lot of times people think that the man comes home and be like, oh, well, he just shut down every time he come home. No, he needs time to really regroup. Because if you're out there, especially as a black man in a corporate America, that can even be taxing and challenging, and trying to deal with the underlying racism, the stress of having to make sure that, all right, I need to make sure this is done. And, oh, I got to make sure my job is secure because I still have a family that's counting on this money. And if this doesn't happen for us, then I got to possibly try to figure out what I'm going to do to carry this family. And then my mom taught me that when you're dealing with those kind of men, you have to give them some type of grace, because the amount of pressure that they carry is unlike anything else, especially if you're a woman and who is being taken care of, because everything is on him. There's not
Okay, Joy. Okay, Joy. You speak a lot of great stuff, and I agree with you 100%. But let me tell you something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm at an age now. Let me tell you something. I cook, I clean, I still ain't got a ring. And I ain't tripping on it. I ain't tripping. I run baths, I body massage. Make a list of what you think will
I'll
make
be
a
like,
man happy. I cater to any dude that I've been in a relationship with.
see, well, no, you
None.
can't cater to any dude. You
No,
got, because
no,
I do a lot of those things, but
because
there's
I
only
haven't
a
been in a
certain.
lot of relationships. I haven't been in a lot of relationships, but I'm saying
Yeah, but
when I'm
everybody can't get the same.
Hey,
Everybody can't get
I ain't never got a
the
bath. Can
platinum
I get a
package.
bath?
no, Isaac, you ain't my man. Let me tell you something. Um, no. Let me say this. What I do is not a performance. It is something that God gifted me with. Like I
Mm-hmm.
naturally love to cook. If the four of you guys was at my house, guess what? You got a
You
whole
be cooking.
Sunday's meal
I'm coming
without
over.
day.
We
You
coming
I
know,
over.
can go
I-
down.
you
So
know,
anytime y'all want to come down,
all
come
that
on down.
all that shaking and baking that some women do, that the term, oh, wait till a man's heart is through his stomach. Was listen,
It's not.
I don't
It's
got
not
some
now.
dudes
Trust me, not.
in their life,
It's not.
because that is not true whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to stop what was already embedded in me, and when I cook, that's the way I show a portion of my love. That's just who I am.
That
So,
girl
what
is
I've
awesome
learned,
in that kitchen. There.
what I've learned over the years, even at 45 years old, I know females who have retired from being a slut, that don't cook, that don't clean, and them heifers living the best life ever, and they happy.
Mm.
Man is
Well,
happy, and the
sluts
woman
get
is happy.
people sleep on
So
sluts. Let me tell you something about sluts.
that,
Sluts
hey,
understand men. Sluts, that's their job. Sluts people surprised, like, how these hoes be cooked, because they study, they look at men, they study men. They don't care about what they got going on. They're not like, oh
they
well, my
don't. If
emotional.
I tell you that I'm a faithful woman, you already know me, Joy. I believe in
Mhm.
dating one man at a time. But I
Yes.
know friends of mine in where I'm from in Texas, I'd be like, you don't have more dinglings than the hot dog stand. Like, how did
Look,
you get set it up? You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little confused.
because it's the art. Look, I've learned at a young age to look at, and there's only ever been really like two men in my life that I've ever really looked at, and I was like, oh, I gotta have them. I gotta have
Yeah,
them. And I don't believe in approaching men, because I feel like,
me
I'm a
either.
lady. I'm not gonna approach you. But I learned the essence of my femininity that will draw you to me to say, oh man, there's something about you. Isaac, ask about me, Isaac. I've learned, and I've been around hoes. I've learned from the best hoes. I know some hoes, and
Wow.
I learned that you need to get a few good tricks under your belt. I learned you need to learn by hearing him talk to other people, so you kind of understand how his mind, because every man works differently. Understand what are those things that entice him, what are those things that he dislike, what are those things that draw him, because every man is not, you can't say, oh well, I'm gonna cook for this guy, I'm gonna do this for this guy, and he just gonna fall in love with me. No, some men, but a lot of sluts, they learn men, and I think that's what women need to understand. You have to take on a slut mentality, like, let me study men. Okay, men like this. Men don't like to talk all the time.
I don't want to do that. I just want to be a slut with my husband in the bedroom. I don't want to do
all
that.
No, you gotta you can. But you have to learn that your husband, you gotta learn what he likes and really transform to become that woman that he likes. That's what honestly, let me put it out there for y'all. I've been married as many times I have and been proposed to as many times I have because I've learned how to be a chameleon. I will change. I am not the same woman to every woman, to every man. I will find out what you want, what you like, and abracadabra, you would think the fairy godmother came in, that turned me into Cinderella, turned me into Sleeping Beauty, turned me into Princess Jasmine. I'm telling you, I'm telling
girl.
y'all.
Joy, are you serious, Joy?
Tell it like it is, baby girl. Tell it like it is.
So look at this. Okay, so Joy, now I'm going to say this. Now, this is Isaac. I'm only speaking for Isaac. I'm not speaking for no other man. Because I ran across that right there would never turn me on ever again.
Rev ain't going to have us
you
on
think
that show.
So?
No, honestly. And I mean it is because I see what that looked like. I see what the fake was until the real person came out. No, but I'm just saying. So look,
these people are.
So look, notice I said for Isaac,
right?
That wouldn't work for Isaac because I've been hurt from that. So because I've been hurt from that,
because she sucked you in, right? That sucked you in, though.
Yeah. So it was all the fakeness that actually and it wasn't none about sex because I didn't. It wasn't none about sex. So because of the fact that because of the fact that it was so fake and it was like I had a friend to call her a master manipulator.
See, well, it depends on what a woman is doing because I never manipulated any of these men. Those were simple. There were different parts of me, and I knew what that man, like what he wanted, what he desired. And I knew that part of me that could fit into that. I could fit into that mold. That part that could fit into that. If you wanted a nice polish, the girl you can take to the gala and talk with this and sit down with the mayor and go to the counter. Look,
you know how to change your hat.
I am.
Okay. All right, then. Okay, so you're excellent at our code switching. You're excellent at code switching. Okay. So code switching is completely different than you having a studio lifestyle. So
yes,
but look, I would say this. Sometimes I make it extremely hard for a woman to get next to me. Sometimes
and
it's extremely hard because of the fact that I'm so cautious. I am extremely cautious.
All the time.
Meaning that I'm extremely cautious because of I've shared with Saveda that prior to my marriage, every single woman I had ever been with prior to my marriage cheated on me, and every single woman after my marriage cheated on me.
Wow.
So I am
and why do you
extremely.
Think that you because they're all different types of women, or do you have a specific type?
No, hold on. Can I speak my truth, woman?
Yeah.
Can I speak my truth?
Do you think that all of them the same type of women? Because some people have types, and sometimes your type.
No, and I say this, and I've dated from petite, I've dated until big. I'm just being honest. But
emotionally, were they the same type of woman? Like were they all women with daddy issues, or women who had self-esteem
You know, I
issues.
didn't. You know, well, look, I'm not have to go back and actually and actually look at that
Because a lot of
because
times we date people. That's why I always tell people I don't have a type. If people like, Jill, what's your
yeah.
type? I don't have one.
So and being my age now, I would say being my age now, I don't have a type. A surveyor likes to crack on me, and I say that you do have a type. But to be honest with you, but when I said, but look at the women that I've dated, were they my type?
Mm.
Well, I say this is what I believe. I believe if someone can take them, they were never yours in the first place. And I think the goal in life, when you're about finding somebody special, is to find what's yours. And of
Right.
course, you got to behave and learn and
Hmm.
do the right thing. If not, you will lose it.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a fair. Again, every woman I dated before my wife cheated on me. Um, but
Really?
again,
Back
yeah,
up,
for
back
real,
up, back
yeah.
up, back up,
Not
back
the
up,
ugly girl.
back up.
Say again,
That ugly girl
What did
cheat
you
on
say?
you?
I said every
She said
woman.
the ugly girl.
I said
Wait,
every
wait, wait.
woman before I dated my wife cheated on me also. We broke up.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
had to get clear that
Really?
because I like Tracy's because it sounded like you said something else. I thought you
Nah,
said
Trey
something
Bay.
No,
Trey,
no,
Trey
no,
Bay
no,
is
else.
a
Okay,
saint.
no.
okay,
Nah, he a
So,
okay.
sweetheart.
but again, so I believe, again, you must find that one person. And again, and when I was in relationships, I was a good guy. I'm still a good guy, and I always been a good guy. But um, it seemed like they always ended. And one of my prayer was the Lord give me somebody that I can love and be in love with, from now and then 10 years later. Um, so I've
Now,
learned.
was Tracy different than your exes though? Yeah, she
Uh, I, I
was.
wouldn't, I wouldn't, I wouldn't say different.
She was.
Um,
She
I wouldn't
wasn't
say
different. Why
different.
did she end up married? She had to be something different about her.
She's much different from the typical girl. Well, the ones I seen Josh bring home.
Well,
She
see,
was,
it's only ones you've seen.
yeah. Those are the, and trust me, some of them should have been kept the secret.
You know what? Hey, so look,
But
I will
but but
say
again, but
this.
again, but again, it's again. I think, but sometimes you know, um, a relationship always have to have that commonality, that gel, that relativity. And again, like I said again, when you're successful at what you do, it's hard to find that because you're is where my trust is, this person for my things. But again, I can share some things that I can help you. But again, I'm not going to the show. But again, there again, but it's hard because again, you got these things, and you think this woman's here for these things because the things is what shows out so much, and sometimes you won't find out until years later, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, true that, true that, true that. Well, I don't know. I prefer not to have a 6-figure man because
Really?
yeah, they got too much trauma.
That
I
is not
love.
true.
But what about the ones who
Yes.
are who know who they are? Because there are some good 6-figure men who are down to earth. They know who they are. They don't come with their wallet first. They come
What,
with, look,
George?
I like.
What they at? Sugar plums? What they at?
I
Cause
did
they ain't.
some.
Hold on. Hold
What
on.
they at?
Saveda.
Yes,
Saveda.
yes, friend.
Saveda. Let me ask you this question. And I want you to,
Ooh,
all jokes aside,
let us
That's so
pray.
silly.
do
She's
you know
so
my
silly.
wallet? Do you know my wallet?
Nope.
Ooh,
Did I ever show you my wallet?
No.
Do I ever do anything for you that is like that? Because I make this, you can have this.
I don't. Why is this is not about
Ma'am,
surveillance?
answer the
Yes.
question, ma'am. Answer the
because you
No.
said
question.
you don't know
Why?
any 6-figure men who don't act
Answer
like
the
that.
question.
No, Isaac.
Okay, so so I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I'm going on record. I'm gonna go on
Okay.
go on record
At
and I
9:09
can say this.
p.m.
Go
August
on
5th.
record and say this. I did exactly what Josh did. So I started at the end of 2021. I prayed. I said, God, look, I'm going to allow myself to be under your submission when it comes to my next wife. So what's that mean is that I understand how to be open to a dating, but I need God, but I want you to show me who my next wife is. Right.
Okay.
So I think I opened myself up too far in that essence. And with that, I got an attitude. I really did get an attitude. I got attitude, and God reminded me of myself getting the attitude of why did you get an attitude, or why did I get an attitude for something that I requested of Him.
Mm.
I got an attitude because the fact that I was influencing the process.
Mm.
So we so often get in the way of ourselves or get in the way of receiving our blessing because the fact that we feel that we have to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes God just wants us to allow Him just to be God.
True.
And I got to a place to where I was too open and I got an attitude. And my attitude is that this isn't working the way that I feel that it should be working.
Mm.
So with the attitude, it causes you to actually do things that you normally would not do because of the fact that you got this attitude. Not realizing that I had caught an attitude with God until it was shown to me. And I was like, whoa, okay. So, but in that process of having an attitude, I actually hurt someone that's actually dear to my heart. And was it intentional? No, it wasn't. I had an attitude. Um, but I know what God has spoken to me, and when the time is right, the time will be right because it will happen it'll happen in God's timing and not in Isaac's timing.
Now, do you think that now you being a successful Black man, do your friends, family, any outside source affect who you choose? Like, or is it solely your decision, or do you like, oh yeah, well she wouldn't fit into this, or they don't, my friends over here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
do you think those?
So I'll definitely say is that something I've always done. And I've always taken someone, whoever that I've chosen to be in my life. I've always taken around friends just to see how that she would interact with my friends, because of the fact that it's exciting to see how that your friends react to the woman that you are choosing. Is also exciting to see how your woman reacts to the friends. You want to see if your woman definitely see the same things you see about the friends, but you also want to know if your friends see the same thing that you think about the woman that you're introducing them to. But I've never ever in my entire life allowed anybody to influence me to anybody that I've dated or chosen. That's not how I get down. I am, and I'm that way in my personal life as well as my professional life. I don't get down with allowing anyone to influence me, left or right.
Holy Spirit keep moving my mouth, Mr.
I see the Holy Spirit.
But she just says that.
I think for successful men, anybody successful, when they look at a relationship, they gonna look at if the person can fit in their life. You have to.
Yes.
You have to. If not, you will be broken up. The problem is that some people, when they get into relationships, they get in relation with the wrong people.
True that.
And they develop these feelings, and these people can't even fit in their lives. So again, you have to look at that. I know when I got married, I wasn't per se successful. I was in the ministry. So again, I knew, and I had a vision of where I was going, and with the people I'm around, I can't have nobody ghetto. I can't have nobody just screaming off the top of their lungs and catching the attitude. Because again, I'm around. I'm around the majority of Caucasian people. So if you,
I'm glad you said choice, Rev, because I wouldn't have been.
This child is something else.
If I'm peeping your game and you don't know how to act, I can't mess with you.
I know how to act.
I can't risk us going to a party and you catching an attitude and
Oh no! I'm teasing. I know how to act, but I know how to act. I'm teasing, but I tell you what.
Or even again, my wife and I have the rule. I will never embarrass her. I will never embarrass her in public, and she would never embarrass me in public. We handle
Well, I
our
have to admit, it depends on the circumstances. Because if somebody come up and mention my dude, I'm that female that see the
your
ball on the
dude.
table, and I'm gonna help
No,
my
you
dude.
say again. Say again.
Hey, just pray for me. I'm a Christian, but I got a pinky toe still in the
What you
hood.
say? I hear you.
You're breaking up. You're freezing.
Can you hear me
You gotta
now?
say it again. It was
I
going in and out.
Okay. What I said is I'm a Christian, but I still got a pinky toe in the hood.
She got a big toe out there. She ain't got no pinky toe. She got a big toe. She got a big toe.
What?
So
Well, no,
look
well,
at
no, listen,
hey,
look at this, look at this. If you're gonna be with anybody successful, you have to either you gotta change everything, but learn how.
you
Again,
just gotta learn how to
I
tone
can
it
go to
down.
the hood. I can go to the country club and know how to act, and and talk with all the Caucasian people and successful people there. Again, and if I have somebody, because I have somebody, I chose somebody that can fit that kind of lifestyle too.
No,
Because again,
I'm joking with you, honey. Before I moved to Virginia, I was in Texas. I was I managed 5 facilities, so I have a business
oh yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I still, I'm joking with y'all, but baby, I am on top
Right.
of my game. That's so. I will say that the guy that I would love to have definitely has to be successful, but it's successful is not according to
Of
how many
money.
zeros behind
Yeah,
that
no, 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 no.
number. So, but I do have to have somebody that can understand. I have a huge sense of humor, as y'all already know. I like the
Yeah, I
crack,
got a
make
Oh yeah,
huge.
jokes.
definitely.
So, but I'm still that female though. If my baby in trouble, I got you, baby. I got you.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Look, I've seen it. I've seen it. Trust me, listen
But I
here.
think I think
Listen here.
men like
She
that.
get down with the get
Hopefully,
down.
your
Do you
baby
hear
can hold his
me?
own. Hopefully,
Listen,
Look,
no.
but
No,
sometimes
look
It
at
you
don't,
this.
can't.
it don't
Look at
matter if
this.
he
Look
can
at
hold
this.
his own. I'm with him. I
Hey,
got you, baby.
hey, listen here. This child right here was about to cut somebody's neck off. I can't say who the person is because of something that she did to me, because of something that she felt that was jeopardized. You know
mm.
what I'm talking about.
She like, what is he
You know
talking
what I'm
about?
talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
You
Think
want to
about a
beat up somebody?
situation.
Huh?
Think about a situation when we was over Marcus' house. Think about that whole situation when we was over Marcus' house.
Dealing with the baby.
The
And you
I
had a
You
can.
ain't gotta say that out loud, woman. So yeah. Yeah, that one, yes.
I can't remember the situation.
Oh man.
She be blacking out. She blacks out.
You know, cause my bestie right here, he be having all the
So
girls. So I had
but anyway, you know the situation I'm talking about because you said I lost all respect for her. So
well because that was dealing with a child.
ma'am,
I
ma'am,
don't
I
talk about
said you ain't gotta
children.
say nothing. See, you notice how I ain't say nothing? You notice how I ain't say nothing? I didn't give no inklings or anything like that, but you are. So look, okay. So
But do
I'm
you, as
protecting children.
a successful black man, do you respect that some black women are
oh
very
yes.
passionate, and
And
Oh,
when
I
now
am.
look,
I
passion.
am
She
very
is
passionate.
extremely passionate,
a lot
but
of black women are
she,
passionate.
but then
Yes.
watch this. So Saveda has learned my passion too. Saveda is the very first woman in my life that's ever taken the time to study me and to learn me and to know things about me or to recognize things
Well, I
about
ain't gonna
me
never get no
that
man. You
nobody
know,
else
you
did.
might get some
See,
beard
but that's
watching.
back to what the when you was like, I don't like sluts. See, you doing what sluts do. They took time to see what it is that he needs, what he likes, and look, all he can talk about is Saveda. See, you're already on the path, Saveda. That's what I'm trying
Because
to say.
see, let me tell
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
something.
yeah. Yo,
Y'all talking
yo,
about
y'all need to do a girls talk like off Zoom.
you know what, Rev J, Mr. Isaac don't do. He can't handle women like me. He cannot.
That's a
I know
lie.
he
No,
can.
you
Hold up.
cannot.
Anyway, let me speak for myself because you ain't gonna speak about me and tell me what I don't like and what I do
I'm
like,
the
woman.
bestie. I know
I am
everything.
sitting right here and you can't do that. You can't do that. I just told you. Anyway, hey, I can't let you in on secrets yet. So, but no, I think that what also women forget about what women forget about successful black men. Let me not say women. Some women forget about successful black men.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that we are hustlers, we need a woman in our life that understands the hustle,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
understand where understand the weak areas in our life
mm,
that you can make stronger.
wow.
Right.
We understand we need a woman in life that can stand there, that even though that we are hustlers, we see your areas of weakness too, and we cover your weak areas just like that we want you to cover ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's not about the money. It's never
about the money.
about the money. It's never about the money. Promise you. Because when we see you, we see you. You
Mm-hmm.
automatically get it if you just learn us. I'm not saying that we won't change for you. We will change for you. But don't but allow that change to naturally happen. Allow that transition of I want this to happen because we see you, and I'm speaking of that when we're serious with with the woman, we see
Let me
you.
let me say
We
this.
make time. We make time for you, and we include you in our everyday schedule. We just want you to be available for that.
Let me
Let
hear
me say
his
this.
advice. I want to hear Rev J advice.
Samson was a very successful man. Um, but and when you're successful, you incur a lot of damage, but you're still successful. And he incurred a lot of damage, believe it or not. If you read the backstory of why, um, of what happened to him in his life, which was, I'm giving you the Cliff Notes. Samson had a wife. His wife was given away to his friend, and then, I, or yeah, or somebody, I think, friend or something like that. And then the Philistines burned up his wife and his father-in-law out of revenge. And and after that, he went on a rampage. What is typical of a man would do when they're angry? They go on a rampage. Men the men we see out in the streets killing, just sleeping around, they may be on a rampage out of pain. But what Delilah did was this: she gave him a place to lay his head and just be a normal, average guy that want to have some rest. And what happened was he eventually told her all his secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you the woman that will that the woman that can allow the man to be normal and human and lay his head on her lap, she would get all the secrets. Um, unfortunately, she's part of the enemy's plot, but but I also want to say this: successful men are visionaries. So if you're going to approach a vision of a successful man, you must come with a vision. Because they want to see, okay, how can you fit into the vision I already have,
Yeah.
and how do the vision you have?
But you
Uh,
said,
say again,
what's the man
compliment.
to say?
I said, he said, how can they fit into their? I said before he said what he said. I said they want to know how can you fit into their bank account.
Oh
That's how they think about it. Them old raggedy coins
no,
of
no,
theirs.
I'm telling you, you again. It's like anything else. If you have to have a good vision to pitch to a man to successful, because they're saying, okay, I have a vision for my life. How do you fit into that vision? So
See, but I don't know if all successful men think like that. I think a lot of
Right.
successful men think, okay, I want a woman who can come and join into my vision
yeah,
and help to get where we need to get faster.
the,
Like I
the,
don't think
look at this.
Joy, I got one for you, Joy.
The reason why the woman was created to help Adam. Adam had a
yeah.
vision. Adam
Okay.
had a job,
Uh,
but he could not reproduce without her.
that's right.
He
That's
could
right.
not reproduce without her. Adam,
Joy, Joy, watch this. Let me tell you. I'm going to validate what Rev J said.
Mm.
The guy that you're with, do you fit his vision?
Yes, I believe I
Okay,
do.
then. Point blank. Remember, you fit in what he wanted for his vision. You fit into that. So
Right.
because you fit into that, you are reaping every single benefit
Go ahead.
that
Right. That's what
you
I
are
was saying.
receiving because you're fitted in. Remember, it has zero to do for us. I want women to understand. For successful men, we don't think about the money
No.
when it comes to the woman that we want in our life.
Right.
We don't think about the one. We don't. It's truly. It's not even a thought. That's the reason why that it amazed me when the young lady said to me is that I can't afford you. I didn't ask you to afford me.
Yeah.
Right.
What I do at my level is what I do at my level. I didn't ask you to try to meet me at my level. Meet me
Right.
at your level in your area of finances. Just meet me there. I'm not going to shine on you. I already know what your financial situation is because guess what? You already told me. We already had well, we didn't attempt to have a conversation about it. You just told it to me. I already know that. So and I didn't spent gas, flights,
Right.
hotels, and okay, I
And
paid for all that, and
I'm
I
gonna say
didn't
this.
ask you for you know what I'm saying?
Right. But
So
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying, because I think that women who have these, because a lot of women who have grandiose visions, they can't come along with a man who has a vision, which is why I think a lot of really successful women end up by themselves, because they can't say, if a woman's like, look, I want to be this and I want to be that and I want to do that. There's only a few instances where you get a Beyonce and a Jay-Z. That rarely ever happens, and it works, because when you have two people with their own separate visions, they do this. Most of the time, they don't do this
And
but
because
that's
where did
how
they
to
come
work.
at
You
one
can't
at?
make
But they
something work.
came at one. But they came in one because Jay Z owned his own recording company.
Yeah.
They had two
So
right,
things in common: money.
And they brought it together.
no,
They had
it's
vision.
still
They had
it's
vision.
still the actual the
Their
vision.
vision is to be a
Remember
billionaire,
this.
and which is what they both are today.
Watch this. But hear this. Beyonce had a entertainer's desire, vision, whatever it was.
mm-hmm.
Jay-Z also had one, but also Jay-Z was at a higher place than what Beyonce was.
Right,
He was already
She
stable.
okay, yes, but watch this. But look at what they did together when she said, well, when they decided to come together and get married. But watch how the magnitude changed and look at how it shot her up because their vision met and it intertwined perfectly.
right,
And when it happened, it launched. How you and I were just talking about Sierra and Russell. Russell prayed for her. He specifically prayed for her.
and she prayed
Every
for him
single
too.
every
Sure
single
did.
thing that every single thing that Sierra needed was already within her. Every single thing Russell needed was already within him.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? The visions intertwined and success happened for both of them. It actually
Right,
brought her up to a better status and it also brought him up and it brought her up to a better status because he was a different man for her and
right,
also collectively together it brought them up together
That's why
right,
as well.
that's why the women in this world who are a little rough around the edges may not look as good as Sierra, but they got a little hood in them. Is looking for a Russell, not because it's income, because he evens us out. That he shows us another lifestyle of appreciation when we are
mm.
typically dating these futures who are still out here slanging dangalang and screwing over women. So yeah, that part.
All right.
No, Savannah, I'm be praying that God sends you the man of your dreams. I'm telling you.
I'll be like, he already did.
Woo, the lies.
She just gotta wake up so she can see it. Stop
But
dreaming so you
look
can
at
see
this.
it.
Look at this. But I like what look. I want to just real quick. We got to close it out.
Then we gotta close
Um,
out. Final
I,
thoughts
I
from
want to
everybody.
piggyback off what Isaac said earlier. He said that he showed the woman a good time. What he was doing, he's showing her a vision of how you live. and she said, I cannot afford you or afford to take you out. And that's the biggest mistake a woman can do.
Mm-hmm.
Is say that it's down talk what you can do without even doing it. Again, if someone invites you out, it's one fact that if a man invites you out, a successful man invites you out, you should know that you're valuable because he asked you out. Because a successful man is not asking anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
She lost something. She lost something good because she devalued herself based upon what he did, not what she can provide. So, and I learned that I never. Somebody asked me one day. So, I was interviewing for a job. They said, "So what kind of weakness you have?" I don't have none. I said, because you know what? And I started giving my list of things I did at the current job. I said, when I struggled, I stayed late, came to work early, stayed late to find out how to get it fixed. So any problem I have, I'll fix it. So I don't have no weaknesses.
Be here with smile afterwards. Well, Josh, give your final thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is this: for successful men, life is not about money. Let me rephrase that. Money is important, but at the same time, relationships is viable too.
Right.
And sometimes we have a tendency to go after what excites us instead of what works for long term.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you don't get a sugar high off of just a couple seconds and focus on something that can be for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Saveda?
Who is Timothy that's so jumped on here last minute talking about it's not about the money, it's about the relationship? Down on him, Timothy. No, I'm just joking. No, I just say live, love your life and the people who in it, and pray about it. If you're gonna pray about it, talk about it, be about it.
Minister Isaac?
Don't be all day, Mr. Isaac.
Let me say is that successful men have hearts. I think that women miss the fact that you think that we see money, or we think yes, we understand what money does. Money just brings access for you. That's all that it does. um Never think that just because the fact that we make 6, 7, 8, 9 figures, that we think that, or that the money makes us. The money doesn't make us. It just puts us in an environment that we gain different levels of access. You can have that same level of access with us if you find where we're weak at, and you fulfill those weakness, and you cover those weakness. And it's the same thing that we have to do for you.
Okay. And I would say that I hope that women learn that if you're going after a man because of his bank account, do yourself a favor and do him a favor. Don't go after that man. For men, learn who you are. If you are a successful man, and like we said earlier, success does not mean that you're making 6 figures plus. Now, it's a great thing. But it means nothing if you're making 6 figures plus and you have no real relationships. You don't have any type of love. You've lost yourself. That's not being successful. So successful men have a complete balance in their lives. So I would just ask that, men learn who you are and bring you first before you start bringing, the things that you can provide for a lady, before you start thinking about, getting into a full blown relationship. And Saveda Isaac said that he's the perfect man for you and that God had created him for you. So you might want to look at him later.
Hey,
I'm just saying that's what he said.
let me know when the wedding
I
is.
didn't say
I'll
that,
fly
but
down
he
for this
said
one.
that. He said it's me. I'm just saying.
I thought this was a Christian show. I thought this was a Christian show.
I love you guys. We want to thank you guys for coming and joining us. The rest of our panel, between sickness, something happened with a phone.
Hey, this was meant to be right here.
Yes, it was. And I'm glad I had a blast with you all. I want to thank you guys. So we want to thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like, to share. We will be back on next Friday at 8 or 9. We'll let you know. We'll put it on Blast Your Facebook. Saveda also has a podcast that comes on every Thursday at 6:30. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
It's called Come Through with Saveda. We have a great time like we did tonight on this show here. It's not for your judgmental Christians because we talk about everything and we also do a little cussing. But this August the 18th, our topic will be insecurities. And August 25th, we will be talking about the poly lifestyle. Oh, that's going to be very interesting.
Very interesting.
So
Well, I'm gonna have to.
there.
Well, I'm gonna have to get you guys to Sunday Conversations. That is my show. I know I don't ever talk about it, do it? I don't ever talk about it.
Oh,
Yes, I have a show. Yes, it's called Sunday
Go ahead,
Conversations.
tell
I'll
somebody.
send you the link. So I have to get you guys to come to Sunday Conversations. Is where that we take everyday topics, and we talk about it in a Christian setting.
oh,
Okay.
It is a Christian based show, but we get a little wild every now and then
You
because
see
my
what? I
last
haven't been on there yet.
because she has refused to come to the show. She said, "I do not want to come there just yet." That was with her words. So no, so anyway, so yes, but I will send you guys the link. Sunday Conversations.
definitely.
I do it every single Sunday. And this is I'm in the second season. This year is the second season. It's also the
Okay.
first time I'm going every single Sunday. So
Mm.
What time?
they come on at 9:30 a.m. I'll send you guys the actual link to it. But yeah, it's my show. So
Okay. All right.
All right.
Last words, Josh.
Well, again, I'm Rev J. This is Let's Talk About It. Hope you enjoyed it. It's my co-host.
Joy. And as always, never let anybody steal your joy. Talk to you guys later. Love
See you
you.
later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.